Hi there, hope you're doing great. I'm H of the Stage, vocal coach, musician, singer-songwriter, and thank you for clicking on another video. That means the world to me. Today, once again on this channel, I'm listening to the amazing Angelina Jordan, and she's actually covering the legendary Elvis Presley and his amazing classic song called Suspicious Minds. Now, this cover actually came in the best moment ever because I've just reacted to Elvis the other day, and could you guess the song that I've reacted to? It's actually Suspicious Minds. It's a live performance. So if you want, you can check out that reaction, that video as well. But today, I can't wait to check out Angelina Jordan's video because I know that she always puts her own twist on songs. And I can't wait to see what she did here. So without further ado, let's go check it out together. Mhm.
Oh, little love, survive. I dry the tears from your eyes. Just don't let a good thing die. Well, honey, you know I've never lied to you. We're caught in a trap. Can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? When you don't believe a word I say, we can go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. If in all
Okay. Oh my God. Now, I'm totally in love with Angelina and what she's doing here. I mean, she's always bringing something new to every cover that she does. And that's what I always say. If you're gonna do a cover and it's going to be pretty much the same as the original, don't even do it. Because what's the point? You can't really ever do it better, in terms of you can't really do it better than the original artist in that sort of arrangement. They figured out a way that works for them. They figured out why they want to exactly approach it that way. And something that fits Elvis doesn't fit everybody else, and Elvis was especially extraordinarily, how to say, he had his own spice, and I've just reacted to him. He had his own runs, he had his own feel, he was a kind of a sex symbol. He's completely a different world, but what she's doing here is completely her own, and I love it. She's doing an amazing job vocally and everything. But let's talk a bit about the things that's happening here. I'm going to listen to it from the start once again, and I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to point out a couple of things. First, the thing that I'm going to say is that I absolutely love the piano sound. The piano sound, I haven't heard a better sounding piano in a while, so that's a big plus for me right at the start. So good. Ooh, the goosebumps. It sounds full and nostalgic in a way.
oh, little love, survive.
So immediately, she's kind of opening her mouth. She's singing very rounded, and Elvis was also known for singing that kind of like, making the vowels and everything when he sings kind of hum, 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 hum. So she's kind of taken inspiration from that a bit, but she's still doing it in her own way. This little ornament that she does when singing Survive, she's making it so quiet, so vulnerable, and it fits her style so much. So listen, it's so good.
Oh, little love, survive. I dry the tears from your eyes.
Again, beautiful
Don't
ornaments,
let a good thing die. Well,
small
honey,
runs.
you know I've never lied to you. Mm.
Beautiful hums there, like when she switches from very deep chest voice, very soft to humming. When you hear singers that can hum this clear and this beautiful, that means that there are amazing singers because the humming is where we place the tone. It's basically the mask. So if a singer is struggling to have a nice, clear hum, it usually means that something is not really going well there. But she's not struggling at all. Her hums are as clear as her singing, maybe even clearer. Like they're so good, you know. Listen to this switch.
Honey, you know I've never lied to you.
Now, so beautiful. Her vocal placement is just where it should be. Amazing. Very soft, very beautiful. I'm completely in love with this version already.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.
So that kind of ornament, that kind of add thing is her own. This is something that Elvis doesn't do, and these sort of it's like signatures. This is what makes Angelina Angelina, and that's what I always appreciate about singers.
Too much, baby.
You know, that little kind of trill.
Why can't you see what you're doing to me?
Beautiful.
When you don't believe a word I say,
Beautiful runs.
we can go on together. This suspicious mind.
What I also appreciate is how she's using Fry here. When you're using Fry in this way, it just makes it feel more sincere. It makes it feel like you're really longing for this person that you're singing about. Like, we can't go on like this. You're really, singing, we can't go on like this. It's almost like you're talking to that person. And Angelina is doing an amazing job. Even this added guitar, which is so simple, she's just strumming a chord once. It just fills up the song nicely. And one thing that I have to say for the person who mixed the whole song, the reverb on Angelina's voice is so tasteful. It's so good. It's just the right amount. I sometimes don't like when the reverbs are too long and they interfere with the next sentence. This is just so good.
Together, this suspicious minds. And we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. If an old friend I know stops by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can see the tears are real, I'm crying. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's very interesting how much you can do with just little instruments. Like this next verse started with just the piano. So she backed out with the guitar. She didn't continue playing it. And then she picked it up in the, which verse this is? And this is basically a fourth verse, I think. The one after the chorus. So there are two verses after the chorus, I think. So basically, and then she kind of fills it up with just, what's the word? She's playing the guitar, but she's kind of muting it. So she's palm muting it. So she's playing the guitar by palm muting it and just giving this pa, 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 pa. So basically, kind of making it percussive. Little details that make up the whole arrangement, which I always like. So let's listen to this part after the chorus once again.
If an old friend I know stops by to say hello,
So just the piano and her voice.
would I still see suspicion in your eyes?
I love that kind of jazzy feel on the piano. It's so good. And then she adds the guitar just by palm muting it.
In your eyes. Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can see the tears are real, I'm crying. Oh, yeah. We can go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, little lost survive. I'd dry the tears from your eyes. It's don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
So damn, girl. I can imagine listening to this in a very gloomy room somewhere, I don't know, somewhere far away from where I live, and just being completely mesmerized by the voice. I would probably be having a drink and just listening to her on stage and just being mind blown, because this is just natural talent. This is so everything is coming natural to her. She's not really, I mean, I'm not saying that she didn't practice for this, but she is so musically like mature. That's what I want to say. She has a very well way of doing dynamics, communicating with us, and that's something that's, I think, harder to learn than just musical technique, because you can be an amazing singer, but you can be very cold as a singer. Not saying that all, not saying that, I'm not saying that singers that are technically amazing are cold. Doesn't have to be, and not all of them are. Sometimes they are, but Angelina is definitely, first of all, a communicator of emotions. And to me, that's always the more important thing, because I don't really care too much if you can sing every single note, if you can be fast, if you can do millions of runs, if you can't really touch my heart. She's doing kind of both. She's doing runs here and there, but it's also, it's a perfect amount. And this kind of bridge section, which is my favorite part of the song, Elvis is doing that so good. It's like the best part of the song. And I was kind of a bit stiff. I was kind of worried because he's singing that with full voice, and it's a very powerful part of the song. I didn't really know how she was going to pull it off, but she, again, did it in her own way. She's singing it more softly, and she's even changing a couple of notes here and there. And she's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore, because I'm so completely in love with this version. So let's go back to just that kind of bridge section.
And oh, little lost survive. I'd dry the tears from your eyes.
So it's very hard to sing this breathy and be, first of all, pitch perfect, and not lose this frontal placement and mass, because whenever we're being breathy, that's more coming from the throat. But she's managing to still stay in that hummy place, that I've talked about at the beginning, the mask, and still be able to produce this kind of slurty, breathy voice, which we all like, but not many artists can really pull it off this well. I can't remember the last one that can really do it this well.
Oh, little lost survive.
Listen to this.
I'd dry the tears from your eyes.
Oh,
It's don't let a good thing die.
So this is the part that she's changing it up a bit. Elvis is singing this a bit differently, but I love what she's doing here. So good, so tasteful.
Don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
Again with that hummy things. Ah, so good. One thing that I want to point out in this version, as far as I think I picked it up good, is that they're changing the tempo just a bit, so it's a bit fluid. Like the verses are not completely in the same BPM as the choruses. They're slightly. It's just a small difference, but what that does to this performance is give it a necessary human feel, because this is not a song that you would hear nowadays. It's not quantized, it's not like perfectly on grid. That would mean robotically perfect in terms of rhythm. That would, let me explain like this. You have a bar of 4/4 and it always stays the same. Now in most modern song it's always the same, like the tempo never changes, and that can sometimes be a bit, I don't know, a bit robotic, a bit stiff. But songs that were produced before, that were played more live, and that were even played in the studio live when they were recorded, are not perfectly always the same. They can be sometimes a bit faster, and they can slow down a bit. It's still in 4/4, but with slight oscillations.
Don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Oh, yeah.
Damn. Like, so honestly, taking a song that's this familiar, that's this legendary, it's almost daunting to not ruin it. You know, like to take something that's so familiar that everybody knows and put your own spin on it and make it work. Because it's so easy for people that are used to this song to think like, you know, nobody should try to perform it because, you know, it's a legendary song. It's almost kind of like holy. That's something that we don't do. That's something that we don't touch. And you know, I sometimes appreciate that because that just gives the music this kind of very holy feeling. That, and music is really important to me. It's really important, and I do like when sometimes we're thinking about these songs like famous paintings. You know, you wouldn't really try to repaint Mona Lisa. That's something that's just one song, that's just one painting, and it's always like that, and we don't touch it. It's placed in a museum, you know, in Louvre, and we appreciate it in that way. But with music, I appreciate it when you can take something like Mona Lisa and when you can twist it around, still make it beautiful, but make it your own. Try to think about it in that way. This is one of those songs that's very tricky to touch. But Angelina Jordan definitely has that privilege. She can do that. She can touch any song and she will make it just right. She definitely won't disappoint you, and she actually proved that once again here. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like it, share with your friends, consider subscribing, and hit that bell to get notified about my next videos. If you enjoy what I do on the channel, consider supporting me through Patreon, because that's the only way this channel can go on and I can do more videos like this. In return, you get to see these videos before anybody else, you get to suggest what I should react to next, and you get a lot of other perks as well. Go check it out. It means more than you might realize. And what can I say? You have a wonderful taste in music, and I hope to see you in the next video as well. Bye.